Hey guys, Tommy with the Off-Grid Nation. Hope you're doing well. I just want to talk to you a little bit about the video that is going to be coming right after this message. You just saw the definition of terrorism, and I hope you read it, and I hope it sunk in. They say justice is blind, and if that's true, I think our justice system in this country is also deaf, dumb, and stupid. Listen to what Ammon has to say in this latest update from prison. I took it right off of the Bundy Ranch YouTube channel. I want the people that are saying the most horrific comments about Ammon Bundy, Clive Bundy, Lavoy Finicum, and all the supporters out there at the refuge in this effort. I want you to really think about the fact that you're calling him a terrorist. You're calling them terrorists. Go back and read that definition again and tell me if you really think that they fit the definition of terrorism. If you still do, I don't know what to tell you, because you're obviously not living in the real world. I think you should probably apply the word terrorist and terrorism up against the law enforcement individuals, the FBI, the state police, and the county sheriff. And you can even take that brush and paint it across most law enforcement agencies across the country. It doesn't just stop there. There's a lot of them that are working outside the law, under the color of law, and they're terrorizing the people. I want you to take a look at the video and tell me what you really think about these people. For those of you that are actually with it, and you're with the movement, yet you're still out there saying, gee, I think this is a government psyop and this, that, and the other thing. You know what? I don't know what to say to you folks other than the fact that listen to this man's words and you tell me if that's what it sounds like to you. This sounds like a guy that's speaking truth. He's getting a message from a higher power. Go back and listen to Lavoy Finicum's videos from his ranch on his YouTube channel. They're still up last time I checked. Listen to his words and tell me that you really think he's a terrorist or you think he's a government plant and this is a psyop. Sure, there's things that are going on in this movement that are outside our purview. There are things that don't add up a lot of times and don't make a whole lot of sense. And it is our job to question. It is our job to ask questions. We don't just believe everything that we hear. That's what makes us on the other side of the table. The rest of you people out there, you just want to be spoon-fed the news from the mainstream media, and you're going to believe everything you hear. Well, those of us on our side, we don't do that. So it's a good thing that we're questioning when we watch this stuff. It's a good thing that we don't just swallow it lock, stock, and barrel. But at some point, we're going to have to band together and stop this petty infighting. At some point, we're going to have to look at our brothers and sisters, whether you're on the right side or the wrong side. We're going to have to shake hands and say, guys, it is us against them. How could you want to stand on the side of government oppression? Why do you want to stand with the oppressors? Why do you want to sit there and call this movement Al-Qaeda or terrorist movement? How are you people sleeping at night, being able to get on the chat rooms and in the comments of videos and say that you're glad that this person, Lavoy Finicum, was shot and that the rest of them should be shot and killed as well? How do you sleep with yourself at night? What country were you born in? Don't you have any liberty or spark of freedom in your soul? Or do you just want to be under the boot, the jackboot oppression of the federal government, of the state government, of any government? You're a man, you're a woman. You were born free. But we find ourselves in a system that makes us slaves. Wake the hell up, people. We need to stop fighting. We need to get together. We need to listen to the message that this man's about to say. Check it out.
Ammon Bundy, February 12, 2016. The Injustice System of America. The first time I met Stephen Hammond, I spent the entire afternoon with him on his ranch. We moved and fed cattle as we talked the whole afternoon. With all that was said about his ranch, abuse to his family, the challenges of the current system, the time he spent in federal prison for just ranching, with all that we talked about, one comment that Stephen made has stood out to me the most. He said, I have been made to believe my entire life that most people in prison are bad, hardened criminals, dangerous to society. And then when I went into federal prison, I found out that it was packed clear full of people just like you and I. In the 17 days myself and the others have been in this misery of chains, I have met not one person that I have felt was bad or that would hurt me. I am certain there are a few in here that will, but the fact is, these concrete walls are packed clear full of people longing for their families, mourning for the loss of their freedom, hurting for help, just needing a break in life. Many that are in here never hurt anyone or damaged anybody's property, but most are willing to say they are guilty just to be freed from the suffering and humiliation that are imposed upon them each day. I hear story after story how state and federal prosecutors are charging people for months and even years in prison for breaking a law that hurt or damaged no one. Then while in chains, these prosecutors dangle a plea agreement in front of them that lessens the sentence if they say they are guilty. Why else do Oregon prosecutors have a larger than 95% guilty rate in their prosecutions? It is a sickening game that bureaucrats and prosecutors play. It brings tremendous human suffering. I do not understand how anyone would find pleasure or success in causing human pain. For those who are not willing to play the plea game, they keep in prison for months, even years on end, before a trial date is even set. The entire time suffering for a crime they have not been found guilty of. We are so far from the justice system that was set up by our founding fathers. The justice system they set up was simple, just, restored the victim, and rehabilitated the offender. It was a similar system that was used in ancient Israel and by the Anglo-Saxons. They called it God's law, natural law, common law, as found in the Magna Carta and the U.S. Constitution. In common law, for a crime to have taken place, damage had to be done to another person or his property. There had to be a victim. Hence, habeas corpus, show me the victim. If there was a victim, and the two could not work it out themselves, then that person or his family could bring up charges. The accused offender would be tried by a jury of friends, peers. The jury would determine guilt and retribution. The victim was restored, and both moved on as free men. Very little government involvement. In fact, most were worked out between a church leader or a community leader. Very little need for jails or prisons. The injustice system we are now caught in allows bureaucrats in the name of the people to take up charges against a person when there is no victim. This system allows government officials to prosecute or to prescribe punishment, setting mandatory limits no matter the offense. 2, 3, 4 years in prison, taking voting rights and the right to bear arms for breaking bureaucratic law that damages no one and has no victims. With this cunningly crafted system in place, bureaucrats can now claim lands, homes, properties, resources, and entire industries as their own for their own growth and benefit. And anyone who challenges them, they send the officers to arrest that person. They punish and cause great suffering to them for several years. If that person finally sees the light of day, that person is broke and submissive, trained to never speak out, to keep the head low and to follow the flow. This is our current justice system, twisted for the growth and the protection of government, causing many innocent people to suffer in both body and spirit. Those in power would have us believe that society is the problem, that people are the reason the prisons are full, that America has nearly 3 times more people in prison than any other country because the American people are bad. This is a lie. Government officials, bureaucrats, enforcing their own laws upon the American people are the reason the prisons are full. They say they are protecting us, when in reality they are the grave danger. Dwight Hammond, Stephen Hammond, my father Clive and Bundy, my brother Ryan, my friends, and myself are all standing examples of this corrupt system that would have put away the likes of George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Ben Franklin, Sam Adams, James Madison, and so many other defenders of freedom if they were still alive today. O people of America, wake up, arise from your slumber, put off fear, trust in God, and unite to save liberty. Because of the oppressive actions that have come upon us, the American people must choose to act, or they will be acted upon. As Americans, we have a great decision to make, freedom being very sweet, or oppression being very bitter. For men not to act is a choice to be acted upon. Pray to the Lord and find out what you should do. We must not pass oppression on to our children. The time to act is now. Sincerely, Ammon Bundy.